the final matchup that we have for tonight. I'm Joshua Gray.
And I am Randall Holcomb. We're doing it last one.
Last one. An impressive series from Timed Out, so we'll put a little bit of pep in the step for all our Brazilian fans. Even though it was a win for Hammer Time, still was a good series. A lot of good series tonight. And now the final series is I Love Lamp versus Simple Tankers. As a reminder, please follow us on Twitter at WGLNA, Facebook.com/WGLNA, and make sure to use that hashtag WGLNA so we can find your tweets and put them up on the broadcast.
And then don't forget about our question of the day, guys. Who's going to distinguish themselves from the crowd tonight? What team will it be? Tell us who and why.
And also make sure to hit that follow button on our Twitch page. That will allow you to get an update every time we go live. And also, we appreciate it as well. We have the face-off ready between our two teams, I Love Lamp and Simple Tankers. Gentlemen, good evening.
Hey, Clutch.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. Good to see you, Pub Whisperer.
I see you.
Let's start with you. Tell me about this headset that you're wearing.
Well, we got a special gift from Planetronics, from Corey over there. We got some Gamescom commanders. They've been a big fan of us since the very beginning, and they want to show us some appreciation.
Are those sound canceling?
Yes, they are. They have a 90% nag reduction, so I can't hear anything from anyone around me.
Nice. You can be concentrated and focused. All right. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Now with your Plantronics headset, and also with a good record so far, but a tough loss against Cunningham's. Tell me about that Cunningham series.
We made a couple mistakes, mainly me, on some of the pushes. If they were a little more well-timed, I feel like we would have taken it. There's just little mistakes here and there. And if we clean those up, I think we're going to carry on pretty far.
Because it seemed as though you would win the first battle. Then everything after that, the Cunninghams had you figured out.
I wouldn't say they had us figured out. I think we were just hesitant. And that made it look like they had us figured out because we just weren't making the moves quick enough.
Got it. Got it. All right, let's go ahead and check in with your opponent for tonight. We got Baby Halo from I Love Lamp. Looking fresh, looking clean tonight, man. You had fresh off a win from the last series that you had. That was up against Penguin Mafia. After the losses that you had at the beginning of the season, has that helped your team kind of propel yourselves further? Did it help with the morale so far?
Oh, definitely. It's always good to get that first win. So we shook off the nervousness. Good. Like, when are we going to get that first win? So now we can go into every other match just focused and not worried about that part.
Do you feel you would be more nervous if you didn't have a win yet facing Simple Tankers tonight?
I think so, because, you know, you're like, you have that in the back of your head. Like, you know, we started really rough. When are we going to get a first win? And it just starts to be in your head and wear you down. Yeah.
All right, well, now you have one under your belt. It's gonna be quite the match tonight, though, against Simple Tankers. Do you have any words for your opponents before we start?
We plan on winning, so that if you see I'm wearing these glasses and a hat, so for every win, for every match we win, I'm gonna be adding a new item onto my wardrobe. So by the end of the season, I don't know. We'll see what I'm wearing.
It's a lot of accessories.
I'll see them on the other side.
All right, man. A lot of accessories. And, hey, if you make it to the season finals, bring it with you.
Yeah.
All right. Pub Whisper, any words for your opponents before we start?
Best of luck, and let's bring it.
All right. Good to see you, gentlemen. Best of luck on the battlefield.
Thank you.
Again, congratulations for Simple Tankers with receiving those headsets from Plantronics. Also, we need to remind everybody about the finals happening March 15th on Sunday, and that is going to be happening at the Folsom Street Foundry in San Francisco. We're going to release more details of how you can attend, but make sure to mark your calendars and plan to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. A number of individuals from Wargaming will be there. Our production team will be there, and the best teams from this season will be there as well.
Yeah, I loved going there last time. Yep. It was really rainy, which I miss being here. Although maybe the past few weeks,
it's rained so much here. Yeah, people are freaking out.
The past few weeks, maybe not. We're getting kind of good rain down here, but going to San Francisco after living out here for no rain at all
Yeah.
For months, I was actually so starved to see rain that I probably would have driven somewhere outside of LA just to see water fall from the sky again.
Yeah.
Or taking a hose out back.
It's nice to have seasons, it is, but we are privileged in the sense of the amount of sunshine we get here in Southern California. Our studio is located in Burbank. The very historical place, too, Burbank, California. Pretty cool when it comes to live broadcasts and everything. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rosters for these two teams. Also, make sure to place your bets right now. More information about betting, ask the people in chat to help you out.
Real quick, looking at those rosters, though, Baby Halo, who we just saw up there. Now, notice that they've got Baby Skittles up there, so don't get mixed up if we say, you know, Baby Halo, Baby Skittles.
Or
just
if I
watch
say
yourself.
Taste the Rainbow, it may happen.
Yeah, just watch out for that. On the other side, I like that we've got Wallhack still on the team. You'll see that there's a few little changes. And don't forget Ruthman Nine Fingers. I broke the news the other day. He told me to everyone who didn't know. Lost a finger, and now he plays with 9.
That is a bummer. The Simple Tankers, you got the classics. You got Tofu Smurf, J Smooth, Angry White Guy, Zakuma Known One, Kraft Lawrence, Pub Whisper, Executus, and the rest of the team that makes up the best wingman when it comes to World of Tanks. Talk to me, Goose. That is Simple Tankers. Morovanka will be the first map for this last matchup of the night. What do we have for Tanks?
All right, I Love Lamp defending. We'll be bringing a 110 IS-3 1390, 2 RU-251s, and 2 M41 Walker Bulldogs. On the other side, Simple Tankers, who are the attackers, the red team right now, 2 5100s with Angry White Guy and Tofu Smurf, Executus, Pub, Unknown, and Wallhacks, all in RU-251s, and Kraft Lawrence in the 5916, which after the interview earlier, I'm glad someone was able to explain why they thought it was a good tank. That 500 damage in the clip, yeah. I had neglected to think that that was actually significant enough, but apparently in many players' minds, it is significant enough to be considered the reason to bring that tank.
Maybe Halo with some broken tracks from popping off the mountain here. He's going to engage against Tofu Smurf from Angry White Guy, pushing up.
If he can, but no, it's a little too scary up there. This is the strategy we saw from Simple Tankers in the qualifiers. That blitz with RU-251s followed up by a little bit of support. They've changed those. I think it was it ISs that they originally did this with, or IS-3s, and they switched it up this time. Now they're going 5100s because they want autoloader fire. That's that huge amount of damage. And there we go. Simple Tankers has taken over the southwest corner of the map, and with that, they can pressure for some control, little cap.
But did they lose the window to destroy Baby Halo, or are they trying to play more cautious, which it looks like they were trying to do to avoid any damage potentially from tanks they did not see further in towards the Magical Forest?
No, I think Baby Halo just did a good job of being a difficult target. He didn't expose himself too much. There was the initial run he did that was rather dangerous, but his follow-up to that, his response to the positioning of Simple Tankers was such that they could never have gone for him without just committing suicide effectively.
Consequences, Soldier, Akula, and Starshield moving together. It sounds like members of the Guardians of the Galaxy, but that is I Love Lamp as they come just above the return hill here. And Tofu Smurf lands a shot into the dirt, but Angry White Guy lands a hit against Ex-Soldier in the 110 Starshield and the Walker Bulldog.
Nice. Fight Breast Cancer shows up at a very appropriate time to put a shell into Angry White Guy, and that should pressure Simple Tankers just enough. They've got Kraft Lawrence on cap, and the support fire from the rest of Simple Tankers is a little spread out, and if they can spot all these tanks, I think they need to adjust a little bit, because here comes the push up and over. I Love Lamp is going to focus first on one of these 5100s. First, it's Angry White Guy.
This is the tough part about the Simple Tankers positioning, is not as good of a focus fire from this long-range attack, but Wallhack's now trying to get behind the tanks that were pushing forward. He's still left alive. Starshield's going to chase after him. Ex-Soldier's low. Baby Halo is low, and Pub Whisperer moves up in the RU-251. Kraft Lawrence takes down Baby Halo, and Ex-Soldier in the 110 could be the next one to fall, and he does go down. Kraft Lawrence so low, and Starshield takes him down. Pub Whisperer moves back. He gets hit in the tracks from Fight Breast Cancer. Consequences is able to move from some significant fire further away, and it's 2 against 2, now 2 against 1, as Fight Breast Cancer and the RU-251 is the last remaining tank from I Love Lamp, as Unknown One and Executus are moving in for the kill.
All right, he does have a little bit of damage left, but not nearly the hit points. Not able to put any real damage onto Executus. Unknown One only barely beaten up. Simple Tankers take it with better focus fire.
The tough part about that type of engagement, though, for Simple Tankers is, as you mentioned, those tanks that were further away, they need to land. Everybody obviously needs to land their shots. But once that brawl happens, it turns into this kind of fog of war of which tank do they focus on from being further away.
That is the job of the commander. When you go up and over like this, you call your focus fire, don't you? Yep. Everyone says, go for Angry White Guy. He's already hit. He's already damaged. Let's get someone out early. That 5100 can't be allowed to deal all of his damage. Second, they're going to go for either wall hacks or they go for the other 5100. Surprise, 5100 is the next target simply because he's not squirrely enough to be a difficult shot. Now, ex-soldier, this is showing the perspective a little bit of Simple Tankers, begins focusing on the 110 and starts shifting it around. But both teams are calling their focus fire, and they're both competing to see who is better positioned in this brawl, who is a better shot on either team. You saw misses because of range from Simple Tankers, and you saw tanks blocking each other because it was such a mob of tanks for the side of I Love Lamp.
And I Love Lamp was using the mobility to try to counter out the long-range accuracy, not necessarily problems, but the advantage of moving within the brawl in order to confuse a long-range fire.
No, you have to keep moving.
So tactically, they were doing a lot of right things, but just Simple Tankers had the focus fire. And when it came down to a 2v2, it was that small variation of hit points that made a difference.
Yes, absolutely. It's just little things. And also look at the lineups and the DPMs and the patterns that you're going to see with damage output and mobility and such that happen because you have maybe more autoloaders or you have more consistent fire tanks.
10 more seconds left in the countdown in battle number 2 on Morovamka between I Love Lamp and Simple Tankers. Simple Tankers is up 1-0. What do we have for tanks?
All right, Simple Tankers this time bringing the same thing. So that 25100 for RU-251s and then the 5916 as well. So not much difference there. The other side, I Love Lamp, 2 T-32s this time. Not going for that 110. Why they chose that, I'm not sure. 2 1390s, 2 RU-251s, and a 5916 of their own. So they're going to kind of match the style a little bit, but because they're on defense, I Love Lamp is going to use the hull down options that they have with T-32s, also the long-range vision, accurate fire, good consistent fire, hit points, armor, all of those combinations. A little bit better choice, I think, on the defense than bringing something like a 5100. That is the option chosen by Simple Tankers, who are the attackers.
Well, fight breast cancer, injures his tracks, damages his tracks, I should say. But they get repaired here. Did not use a repair kit. But that's the second time I've seen an I Love Lamp member do that off the hillside.
Morovamka was only very recently updated.
Yes. So
the hills became sharper in some areas. And many tankers forget this. You see this a lot in pubs. You hear this a lot from newer players. I know when I would tutor newer players, one question I was asked once was, and I haven't, tutored in a little while, but this has been maybe a year ago.
Yes.
One of the players I was tutoring was new to the game, and he didn't understand that when he went off a hill, when he didn't go very high off the ground, he would still take damage and damage his track, so he ended at the end. You kind of forget that, even though you don't go far off the hill, you're off the slope, you're still falling rather far, even though it appears to be rather short.
And it can be a steep grade. The steeper the grade that you're going off of, the more of an impact force of gravity you're going to have.
Yeah, you fall. People don't realize quite how far they fall, is pretty much the point of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's, if you look at it and you're not quite thinking too much about that, it doesn't occur to you, you miss it.
Pub Whisper took a hit as Kraft Lawrence, the 5916, has placed himself on the flag cap. Baby Halo, with his positioning, is able to scout some of the movement here. Pub Whisper fires back. It looks like Starshield took a hit for 115, and the movement sweeping across from I Love Lamp from the west to the east into what could be the perfect guerrilla tactics coming from Simple Tankers in that magical forest.
Could be. It just depends if Ryan is going to expose himself enough. He might, as he is moving in rather ahead of the rest of the group. Does have the option to put out a little bit more damage than anyone else will when he goes down, but he does spot Executus, I believe, and that will, with that he runs into a building, stopping his momentum, but a little fire onto Executus. Don't know if he realizes that Tofu and Angry are there.
Well, Kraft Lawrence has fallen back, who took some damage when he was on the flag cap. Executus did take a hit a little bit earlier on. And taking a look at the attackers, Simple Tankers and the red team, going back into the forest. And this will be a bit of a retreat, but a reconnoiter, you could say, of I Love Lamp
It's a full reset, really.
Moving from this position. Almost like that 5-minute reset we used to see back in 7x42.
Yeah, it's just a strange situation. Neither team having any advantage, and recognizing that, which is, I have to give it to both Simple Tankers and I Love Lamp. Neither of them went and took a fight that they had no business taking. If you look at the hit points up top, yes, I Love Lamp has a little bit of a hit point advantage that is due to their T-32s, but you have to remember also that there are 5100s on the side of Simple Tankers, which means that there is more damage initially in that fight between the two of those than there is between the T-32s of I Love Lamp, meaning you will lose more of your damage earlier on in the fight. Even if you have more hit points just to start it, you won't have those for very long, especially for at least the first probably 20-30 seconds of a fight before you can bring that back with the damage potential of your own tanks.
3 minutes for Simple Tankers to push in towards the flag cap. This is a reset here, not going for the western side, but look at the movement of the 5100s of Tofu, Smurf, and Angry White Guy heading down the 3 line, maybe jumping into the 2 line, and the rest of the tanks, the light tanks, on the 1 line.
Oh, I'm really worried about Simple Tankers right now. I Love Lamp has perfectly predicted this move. X consequences in the right position to put a little damage on here and make Simple Tankers pay so much in order to get into this fight. Nice connection will force him to back off a little bit.
Well, look at this turn from the 5100s of Angry White Guy and Tofu Smurf. They've missed 2 shots against the T-32. They got to get this kill in order to shut this down. They're going to take some significant fire because of it. And there's the trade. T-32 is down, and Angry White Guy and Tofu Smurf can continue to move into the engagement. But that's another 2 tanks down on the side of Simple Tankers. Tied up right now, and Unknown One takes down by Breast Cancer. Pub Whisperer from long range is very, very low. But Unknown One and Wallhacks will focus on a Kulik here in the 251.
And look at the hit points right now. You saw how it was slightly in the advantage of I Love Lamp. It is now evened up quite a bit. It's going to begin going back into the favor of I Love Lamp with the current positioning and while the 5100s reload, because Angry White Guy and Tofu are reloading. One good connection from Star Shield. There we go. Takes down Wallhacks. Unknown One's next. And that's where we're going to see this go back towards I Love Lamp.
Bounce off Akula and a miss towards Unknown One. As the 251s trade out, and a big shot from Unknown One, but it's not a kill. And he is able to dodge the number of shots, and around the corner, perfect hit from Unknown One. Beautiful play, but he goes down to Ryan.
Ryan on the backside of the hill was just holding back a little bit there. Now Pub Whisperer up and over is going to get taken down.
These 5100s are going to be loaded by this time. Angry White Guy and Tofu Smurf staying together. Shot and a kill from Angry White Guy. Star Shield on the run, fires into Angry White Guy. Another big hit for the 5100 for 308. Tofu Smurf misses on the run. Tofu, take your time. Get the shots, get the kill. They get it. 1 tank left alive. 50 seconds on the battle. The timer. It's 53 on the flag cap and 43 seconds on the timer.
Well, 32 is what it's changed to now.
And there it goes. Now it's starting to add up.
Oh.
And Baby Halo has to get a reset here.
He's kind of far out, though. And he's maybe... Okay, this is going to be very, very close. It depends on his driving. And with driving like that...
20 seconds. Baby Halo crossing across the map as quick as he can.
Can't waste a second.
15 seconds left.
He has to get around the corner, make the 1 connection, and not take any fire whatsoever.
10 seconds left. Tofu Smurf and Angry White Guy still holding this position back to back. 7 seconds left. Baby Halo has actually stopped moving. He knows he can't get there in time.
1-0. Looks like the timer not quite there.
I Love Lamp takes it.
Looked for a second like the timer was telling us it was going to be on the favor of Simple Tankers, but I think...
Yeah, the calculations that happened on the timer with 2 tanks to 3 tanks to 1 tank.
With the new format, all of that kind of is... It can be a little weird sometimes, but Simple Tankers not able to get it. Took too long. Baby Halo made it out of the fight, and that's an important point to look at, which is I Love Lamp. They may have lost the fight, but they held off long enough for the 1 tank they needed to survive to get away with enough time that it's impossible, completely impossible for Simple Tankers to be able to come back. They couldn't have they couldn't have found him. They couldn't have capped in time. They just didn't have it, which is a good play by I Love Lamp. I don't think they planned it like that, but they did just enough work, and Simple Tankers took just enough time.
Felt a little bit harsh, kind of harping on Tofu Smurf there, but it's one of those scenarios where, yeah, moving and trying to dodge shots and landing a shot is all tough. You're juggling 3 things at once, but if missing a shot or landing a shot is a 2-second difference of stopping your tank and aiming,
Tofu could have kept going. If he had kept moving and they'd still gotten the kill, maybe you would have seen a different situation. If he would have kept moving on and shooting, getting on the cap as quickly as he can, that could have been the few seconds they needed to get the cap and get victory. Whereas we had a different situation because he did stop.
And you're exactly right. I mean, he missed the shot because he was on the move, so then he stopped and took the shot. So it's one of those risk-reward things, right? Hey, if I keep moving and get to the flat cap faster, come on, RNG! Dang it. All right, now I got to stop.
Yeah.
Understandable. Tofu Smurf is a professional. He's been playing this game for a long time. So it's one of those things where you got to take a step back and realize, you know what? That shot didn't land. Now he stops his tank. Makes sense. 11 seconds left on the countdown. Tied up 1-1. Simple Tankers now on the defense. What do we have for tanks?
Well, now that they are on the defense, Josh, they are bringing in IS-3, 2 T-32s, 3 RU-251s, and that 59-16 again. People are actually jumping on the 59-16 bandwagon. It's kind of nice. The IS-3 is a kind of a weird choice in my opinion. I think that the terrain of this map makes maybe the T-32s or Pershings or T-69 something else is more appropriate, but it does bring it has a little bit of merit. Other side, that T-32 Pershing, 21390 is 2 RU-251, and that T-37 is a standard lineup.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
You've got long-range fire, you've got hold-down capabilities, you've got vision, you've got mobility.
You got tanks slamming into each other. Ryan and Consequences.
Everyone keeps doing that.
Took about 23 hit by. I think this is the most amount of friendly crashing I've seen in one night in the Gold League so far.
It depends on, what mood everyone's in.
Yeah.
I've been on teams where we're all shooting each other sometimes during the battle because we're just having fun. But of course it wasn't Gold League that those happened. But
yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Well, it's up to I Love Lamp now as the attackers, and they're going from the magical forest, the eastern side, and it's Ryan, Akula, and Starshield pushing up.
And not a lot of spotting craft. Lawrence, passive in a bush, in the position of Juliet and Kilo 5, right on the line between those two grid squares, is just close enough that he will spot anyone who peeks up and over, but just far away that he is a difficult target to approach and get within 50 meters. 50 meters, for anyone who doesn't know, is the distance at which any tank is spotted for World of Tanks. There's various checks that the server makes for certain distances, and it makes quicker and quicker checks at different distances of 100, 150, 200, 350. It's a slightly larger increments than that, but you'll get all the way from every 1/10 of a second all the way to 2-second checks at greater ranges. But at 50 meters, the server decides it doesn't matter what the camo or anything in the way is, it's spotted.
Baby Halo takes it for 198. That T-32 got a little hey, how you doing from Simple Tankers in their defensive spot, and I appreciate Simple Tankers playing this very defensively so far. Another shot in the T-32. That one does not connect.
Actually, because you bring up that you appreciate they're playing it defensively, what do you think their next strat would be? Win or lose here, what's their next strat?
Yeah, well, it depends on who's going to attack, who's going to, well, it's up in the air.
Right?
It's more of, hey, Simple Tankers can step back a bit and put the momentum into their control, is what I meant by playing defensively.
Oh, okay.
And because of that, you can dictate the momentum when you go on the offensive as a defending team here, which we've seen teams do. We saw Timed Out do that against Hammer Time earlier tonight.
Yeah, we did see that, and there's appropriate times to do that. Just because you're a defender doesn't mean you have to defend. What you have to do is you have to win, and there's a number of options, a number of ways you can go about doing that. One of them is actually attacking, surprisingly enough. You would think you're the defender, but yeah, you can right out hit him. Now, real quick, Tofu, Pub, Executus, 3-man hit squad going towards Ryan at this moment. Unfortunately, they seem to have found 5 tanks from I Love Lamp.
The rest of I Love Lamp now pushing up, and they still have the one tank that's on the flag cap, but that could be to the advantage of Simple Tankers if they strategize this out correctly. But they have got to get support.
And they got to keep moving.
In the north side.
Can't stop.
By Breast Cancer could go down. Tofu and Pub Whisper still on the run, still on the move. They're able to dodge a number of shots coming out from I Love Lamp. Can they continue to dodge these shots as Pub Whisperer almost lands a shot against Ryan to take him down? Tofu Smurf still has not taken any damage. Pub Whisperer
just goes up and over for Ryan.
He gets it. Pub Whisperer still left alive. Dodging shots left and right. His tracks say no thank you to Hex Soldier. And Pub Whisperer is able to escape, at least for now, in one piece. And all of I Love Lamp are congregated in one section with 3 tanks destroyed. Pub Whisperer still trying to stay alive while the rest of his team either holds their position or goes on the chase. It looks like they're going to hold that position, and Pub Whisperer is going to fall to Akula. That was crazy.
That was absolutely insane. You're right. But the reply, the backup from Simple Tankers, it wasn't there.
But did they have to chase, though? That's the thing. It's 4-on-4 now. The defender...
4-on-5, Josh.
4-on-5 to the defender, sorry. It's 4 for I Love Lamp and 5 for Simple Tankers.
Yeah. You would have thought they'd lost more, but Tofu manages to get out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was also seeing where they were placing the tank that was on the flag cap. It looks like they changed that out with Baby Halo. I had to see how much damage was done by Simple Tankers in that skirmish and who got those kills. Baby Halo's taking some hits as well. But trying to go on the chase is, all right, do we sacrifice those tanks and still have a lead, or do we lose our defensive posture when we try to chase them in the forest?
You may have a point there. If they'd gone into the forest, it could have become far too chaotic to have a predictable end.
Yeah.
They couldn't have predicted that those 3 tanks going in would have handled the situation and come out on the other side with anyone alive. So it was probably a situation where Captain says, you know, get out, get out, get out. Guys say, we're dedicated, we can't get out. Okay, let's salvage the situation, put support fire in, and then regroup. Those 3 tankers are dead. Let's see how much we can take advantage of this, but let's not over-dedicate to the situation.
And it is making a decision and sticking with it.
Exactly.
That can make or break a scenario, make or break a strategy. Tofu Smurf from the north side, sweeping in from behind. He's ready to take down the rest of these tanks. Continual resets happening here. Akula falls back. Angry White Guy has the clear shot, takes it for the kill. Baby Halo. Next one to fall in the T-32 with 1 or 2 more shots. Tofu Smurf is getting lit up, though. And he unfortunately bounces a shot against the 1390, but there goes Baby Halo. Consequences, last tank alive, 23 seconds left, and Simple Tankers is going to chase the lonely 1390s. It tries to run off into the forest, or at least into the moat. That is
Go to the moat, Consequences. To the moat.
On the other side. Feels like a moat. Feels like a castle should be on the other side of that island.
Can you get to that now? I don't think you can, but...
well, no. Consequences, I think... I don't think he's going to make it. Simple Tankers is able to take that victory, and they're up 2-1 so far.
Not bad. Not bad. The fight in the forest, that was completely insane.
Yeah, that was impeccable play.
So they run into these enemies. They find one. Just one, 1390 at the beginning. But they don't know the full layout of everything else, so they keep going. They chase in, then they realize after just a few seconds, which is just the last second the second after the moment they could have just left. The moment after they could have decided not to go forward. And they find out that they should have not. Now, in this situation, Pub Whisperer splits from Tofu, which is an important thing. I want to touch on that.
Yeah.
When you know that you are going to go down, you do everything in your power to make yourself as much of a nuisance and as difficult and deal as much damage as possible. Pub Whisperer did this. He went in, he dealt damage, he went for that last kill. That last shot that he needed to get before he assumed he was going to die. At the same time, opposite direction of Tofu, they can't send that many tanks against 2. They can't split their forces like that. One going to the west is going towards his allies, which means that's going towards support fire. They decided instead to go towards Pub Whisperer, who is the cutoff target, the easier kill.
And you know who did the most damage in that last battle?
Who?
Pub Whisperer. He was 8 for 16, which, you know, he made half the shots. But when you're moving and dodging that much among 3 tanks, that is quite impressive. So well done by him and Tofu Smurf by sticking it out. And also, just as you said, Randall, that last shot, you try to do as much damage as you can before you go down.
Exactly.
You go down in a blaze of glory. We move into battle number 4 between Simple Tankers and I Love Lamp. In this series, Simple Tankers is up 2-1. What do you have for tanks?
All right, so IS-3, 2 T-32s, 3 RU-251s, and a 5916. That's Simple Tankers. They're blue. Red, I Love Lamp, IS-3, 2 T-32s, a T-69, 2 RU-251s, and a T-37. So they're going to match what Simple Tankers is bringing with slight variation. In fact, they're making it heavier. You'll notice they have 9k hit points in this. Just a little bit more here, you know, less hit on those light tanks. Also, a beefier tier 6 with Star Shield and the T-37. I noticed that 100 extra hit points. The 5916 is rather soft and with not very durable. So T-37 adds a little bit more beef to the team, which I Love Lamp can use to kind of bully Simple Tankers, especially if they can get the right first shot connections, which are important for them to break the defense. Same thing for Simple Tankers, getting the first connections.
Soldier Baby Halo, Ryan, and Akula. We're next to that mound, and now Akula's going to fall back here. Simple Tankers will hold as the defenders. Now you look at Consequences position in the T-69 along with Fight Breast Cancer for more of the long-range fire right now as the attackers. What kind of setup they will bring from being at this long range, I wonder.
We shall see. Things are going to begin developing as both teams get a little bit more comfortable with each other. They try and make connections. They expose themselves to look for opportunities of fire. Connections will happen. Give it time. Or
there's a shot coming from Consequences, and the T-69 didn't look like that one hit. Nope. Fires again, and X-Soldier actually takes a hit for 230.
There we go. That's the first little connection. X-Soldier, though, healthy T-32. He can afford a few more hits before it makes a big enough difference, especially since they've got 8,800 against the 8,780 that Simple Tankers has. So they still have a little, technically.
Wallhax fires back towards Consequences, but Consequences is deep behind cover now. No connection made. X-Soldier and Baby Halo cruising back and forth here, still maintaining a presence of scouting here for the defensive position as Simple Tankers. And time continues to tick by.
It'll keep moving, but here's the shift. That's what they're looking for. So X-Soldier, Baby Halo, and Ryan. Does this look familiar to you? Because I believe we've seen this in a few matches, and in every situation, what I've seen is the reaction from Simple Tanker, well, the defender, in this case Simple Tankers, will be to gather your forces, put everyone together, and because you know your opponent is rather spread out and there's some limited lanes of fire to support, you up and over, and then begin overmatching this IS-3 and the 2 T-32s.
Yeah, well, it's...
But, oh, that's
It's the
brilliant.
Bastion. Yep.
Yes.
It's the Bastion right now. It's a Bastion type play.
But, yes, and the cap. The cap is perfectly timed. That needed to happen.
And what I mean by that is X-Soldier, Ryan, and Baby Halo set up this defensive play, if you will, for the flag cap itself. That's why they're maintaining these 3 tanks here.
Usually called screening the cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the screen is great, but they put themselves in this position for a while, so it's more of they drew the line in the sand. Compared to moving all together, we'll see a lot of screens happen. But this is where Simple Tankers will take the time to push up. But Ryan takes down Pub Whisperer first, and they do get a reset, and they do fire back at the long-range tanks to punish the T-69 being out in the open. But they need to continue to get these resets from these 2 tanks on the flag cap.
No, not going to happen. There's too much cover in the way. No vision. Simple Tankers has... It is not really going to be able to fire onto the cap.
White Guy could do it. Angry White Guy could line it up.
Kraft Lawrence actually is moving in.
Oh, X-Soldier goes into block. X-Soldier now moving in behind White Guy. But Baby Halo goes down. Kraft Lawrence pushes up. Kraft Lawrence actually gets the reset in the 59-16.
There it is. That's it. That is an incredibly bold move, but that's it. Now Starshield is trying to block. Kraft will go down. They can continue the cap, but looking at it, I Love Lamp is losing a lot of precious hit points right now. without the support onto the IS-3 and T-32.
Well, so is Simple Tankers, but now Tofu Smurf's going to push up in the RU-251 to get behind the T-32. This is going to be a very cautious play, though, from Simple Tankers to either destroy these tanks or focus on the flag cap. It looks like the tanks are low enough for them to target fire on the IS-3 of Ryan, and Ryan will be the next one. But Executus actually smartly moves past it and needs to get towards that flag cap as fast as he can. 6 seconds left to get the reset. Executus moving. 1 second left, firing from afar. Can they get the reset? Yes, they do, barely in time. And the battle continues between these two teams.
A few too many shots going towards Akula, who's hiding behind a wrecked tank right now. Now, Executus does go down.
It's 3 on 3.
We need a flank. Tofu has to go north or south because the shots onto Akula and Fight Breast Cancer are covered. They have the wreck of a 5916, just big enough, but shells can sneak by. Probability incredibly low, though, that they could succeed in doing that.
Let's take a look at Tofu Smurf, who has moved across the battlefield to get to this position. Unfortunately, his shot hit the cover. Will his RU-251 be reloaded in time? Yes, it will. He gets another reset.
HE shell right there. That is HE.
Minute and 28 seconds.
Oh, and the same thing on to Fight Breast Cancer. T-32's loading HE from long range, or...
Nice shot from Tofu Smurf to lock in the kill against Consequences. Zakum set that up. 2 tanks remain on the flag cap. Zakum does fall. Still a lot of fight left at I Love Lamp here against Simple Tankers.
Wallhacks
more
connects.
HE.
That's Wallhacks connecting it right into the front left track of Fight Breast Cancer. Just getting just barely by. Now that was heat into the side of Akula. You can hear the sizzle of that. Fight Breast Cancer now deciding to leave the cap with 55 seconds left on it.
Tofu Smurf playing this very smart. Oh, as I say that, he gets hit. Fires back at Breast Cancer, but he does not have to engage. Stick next to that house and wait it out, Tofu Smurf.
Wallhex misses a shot onto Akula. As Fight Breast Cancer is moving up, looking for that shot. Does Tofu recognize his threat, though?
Oh, he knows something's coming, but he doesn't know it's going to come around the corner this quickly. Fight Breast Cancer's there, Tofu Smurf.
Oh, and he gets in the defilade.
He can't get the shot, but oh, he falls. However, it's 25 seconds left. All Wallhacks has to do is stay alive.
That's it. He's got this if he just stays alive, you're right.
And he gets the kill against Fight Breast Cancer.
Beautiful shot. I believe that would have been after he'd gone dark and not spotted anymore.
Wallhacks, he wants this kill. He knows he can get it in the T-32, but he's going to wait it out. 6 seconds left until Simple Tankers take this battle victory, and one hell of a matchup so far between I Love Lamp and Simple Tankers. And that's it. Simple Tankers takes it. Whew. Now they're up 3-1.
Not bad. That was tense.
That was very intense.
It's an incredibly
Tofu Smurf, man.
Incredibly difficult situation for both teams.
Yeah, I mean, Tofu Smurf moving across that battlefield, and that one house able to provide him enough cover to continue to put pressure on the flag cap. And this was also the type of positioning from Simple Tankers. Do they engage on these tanks? Do they focus on the flag cap? What happens? Tofu goes, we got this. Moves in, gets the surround. They clean this up. And look at Executus as well. I think he just moves right through these tanks and puts himself in a position to get the reset here as fast as he can.
What he also,
that's heads up play.
Yeah, what he also did is he recognized I put myself into a position with my tank that I can't continue firing to support. So he decides, okay, because I've already done that, because the backside of an RU-251, you can't depress your gun very well, meaning you can't fire uphill at something very well when you're going away from it, decides to do exactly what you said. There's a few reasons why that was a good choice and why all those little reasonings could come together, aside from what you already said, but it was a smart play.
That was crazy on both sides. But again, that's definitely one of the highlights from this evening when it comes to the matchups that we've seen. And also, I'm impressed with I Love Lamp's power of progression, in a sense, or also the power of aggression, I should say, of placing that tank on the flag at the right time and creating that screen, creating that bastion of those 3 tanks there.
Creating 2 questions to answer.
Yep.
What do I do with these tanks in front of me?
Yep.
And what do I do with these tanks over there? Because they're both important. They both have a very time-sensitive threat.
Updating on the match that's not currently being broadcast right now, but is being played between Fun Gaming and Top Tier. I've just been told that Fun Gaming is up 3-1 against Top Tier right now. Battle number 5 between Simple Tankers and I Love Lamp is about to begin on Ruinberg. The first time we're seeing this map tonight. What do we have for tanks?
All right. 2 5100s, 2 IS-3s, 2 RU-251s, and a T-37 for Simple Tankers. They will be the red team attacking to begin this. Defending, I Love Lamp will have a 110, 2 5100s, a single IS-3, a single RU-251, a single IS-2, and an M41 Walker Bulldog. Noticing that they're not bringing the same style that we see with most people. Most teams will say, I like RU-251s, bring 2 of them. I like IS-3, bring 2 of them. I like 5100, bring 2 of them, or 3 of them, whatever. I Love Lamp is deciding to stick everyone in kind of their own tank.
And Executus and Kraft Lawrence could be in some serious trouble, but 2 missed shots against those tanks that have placed themselves to the southern tip of the Delta Village, and the wider swing to the south coming from Simple Tankers in the red, as we mentioned earlier. No shots have been landed yet from either side.
Fight Breast Cancer should be firing off in this direction, but what is he looking at? He is
Maybe does not want to reveal his position
No,
yet.
no, he's been firing. He's been firing. Okay. He just hasn't made a connection yet. There we go. That's the first one. 3
connections right into Simple Tankers already. And Executus is so low now, the 251, and there goes Kraft Lawrence, and Executus could be the next one to fall. This is a pattern that happens a lot with Simple Tankers, Randall, is that they go for this flag cap kind of fast, and they get punished for it. But now they're starting to do some punishment themselves as Fight Breast Cancer, Star Shield, and Ryan take some hits, but Executus does go down.
Just look at it. The hit points way in favor of I Love Lamp. It's 5K to 7.4. The chances that we see Simple Tankers at this point be able to bring that back are rather low. So from this point, I'm looking at I Love Lamp cleaning this one up. I think they have it. They should be able to answer this one. They do have a little damage spread about, but they have a heavier lineup, more armor. They've removed 2 of the light tanks of Simple Tankers, leaving mostly armor. But everything else is rather low, beat up. Zakum could do some work. Between him and Wallhacks, there's the possibility. And Zakum is a good IS-3 player. We've seen that in previous seasons. But Wallhacks is having a little trouble right now, hiding in his current position. Ex-Soldier is doing too good of a job of making those connections.
More shots fired on both sides. Pub Whisperer, low. Wallhacks, low. All tanks still left alive for I Love Lamp.
And then shots coming in from Baby Halo. There we go, a few connections. Difficult to connect from that kind of a range, especially against an IS-3 when you're an M41 Walker Bulldog.
Take a look at Akula and Consequences shifting the 5100s here on the 0 line. 4 minutes and 17 seconds. Another shot into Simple Tankers here, who are down 2 tanks. Now it's stagnant a little bit between both these teams, but still in the favor of I Love Lamp.
And now, oh, look at this. Zakum's driver is gone. I just forgot that we had that in the mods.
Yeah.
Little update right down at the bottom. You can see a little triangle over the driver. It says he's knocked out.
Well, Ex-Soldier wants to continue to destroy what's left of Zakum and Wallhacks, but can they get the return fire on Ex-Soldier? Takes a hit for 388. 1 more shot and he will fall.
And he just bounced one on the front of Zakum, who was able to kind of move his little Shuka to the correct side at the right time and get the little bounce there.
Here is a wide reset coming from Consequences and Akula in the 5100s.
They need to do this a little while ago, I think. I think the I Love Lamp kind of sat there for a while waiting for Simple Tankers to continue exposing themselves to the fire, but Simple Tankers isn't going to give up that easily.
No, no. They're going to try to salvage anything they can. Down 2 tanks, 3 tanks at about 10% health each. I mean, look at the health pool difference. 4,973 for I Love Lamp and barely under 2,000 hit points for Simple Tankers. This is a bit of a cleanup mode for I Love Lamp. But they're cautious. They're very cautious, though.
They can't be over aggressive, because if they do it wrong and they run into too many guns pointing in the same direction, you watch one tank evaporate, and then the next guy who may have been a little damaged goes around, and you watch a lot of tanks die very quickly if you're not too careful. There is the possibility that you take a lot of damage without being able to reply at all.
Missed shot from one of the IS-3s. Oh, Ex-Soldier can't get it, but Baby Halo does.
It's Baby Halo right down.
And he gets both of them. That's the Walker Bulldog further away, cleans that up.
He actually snuck through the backfield where Pub Whisperer and Tofu were moving to the west at that moment. He was moving to the south and got just by him. So he is completely in the backfield. He makes a nice shot on the Angry White Guy, and now Pub Whisperer, could he even pick him up?
2 tanks left alive here for Simple Tankers. As Akula in the 5100 traded fire with Tofu Smurf, and now he's pushing in to get the final kill here for both these tanks, along with the rest of his team backing him up as we take a look. There they are, Consequences, Star Shield, and Ryan right behind him.
Akula finds the target. Pub Whisperer is a little bit difficult. Looks like he's going to make it around the corner. And he's going to make it to safety for now, but Tofu, yes, will be dead. 1
shot. Akula takes shot 2. Takes 2 shots himself, though. And Pub Whisperer on the run. But as the attacker, will be a loss even if the time runs out.
It's all right. They're just going to find him. They'll get the nice,
3,
delicious kill.
2, 1, and Consequences gets the shot and the kill, and Simple Tankers loses this battle. I Love Lamp takes it. 2 points on the board for I Love Lamp, 3 for Simple Tankers right now. It seems...
what?
Every single time they go for that flag cap, Randall, it doesn't work out for them, at least in the Southern approach.
No, I think they've been placing too much importance on the cap, which I've noticed. You saw that in the qualifiers.
Yes.
They would go for the fast cap, and they would attempt to pressure it immediately, not right after establishing some form of position, some kind of dominance where your opponent is not able to reply to that and stop the cap easily. Because most cap points are rather exposed. They're on ground that you do not want to be caught in. You don't want to fight on a cap point generally. There's no cap where there's awesome holdowns that you can place your T-32s perfectly behind.
Oh.
No, it's a downhill where you have to look up a hill. Your armor is flat. Everything is not, everything is wrong to 1v1. So Simple Tankers, I think, jumps on cap a little too soon without going through a few other steps to gain advantage.
Well, this is a turnaround, too, on Ruinberg. We've seen this happen with them where they will pick this type of strategy, this type of scenario of going for the flag cap. They go, it didn't work, so now we're just going to go for the brawl and win. And that has happened at least twice so far in this iteration of the Gold League in Season 5.
Yeah, I guess so. We'll see. Well, the battle is about to begin.
It's about
I'm
to begin.
looking forward to what Simple Tankers does to change this up. They do need to change their strategy.
Anybody's game still. It's anybody's game still. 2-3 right now. I Love Lamp on the defense. Simple Tankers on the offense as we move into battle number 6 on Ruinberg. What do we have for tanks?
For tanks, we've got 2 5100s, 2 IS-3s, 2 RU-251s, and a T-37 for Simple Tankers. So no big change, at least not in lineup. Now, I Love Lamp has done a little bit different. They've got the 110, they've got the 2 5100s, they have a single IS-3, they have an RU-251, now they have a KB-3. And they will still be bringing that M41 Walker Bulldog. So just KB-3 is a little bit different of a choice. We've seen it work well on Himmelsdorf. Ruinberg, it seems a bit slow, but I don't see anything necessarily wrong with bringing a KB-3 into this match. Opening lineup, though, from Simple Tankers is look down the middle and send your light tanks across, which might come back to bite them, especially if I Love Lamp responds quickly.
Well, Baby Halo is taking the long route on the north side to make sure that's not a trick play, maybe coming from Simple Tankers. Not the case. Simple Tankers going for, I think, trying to draw out I Love Lamp here to expose themselves to chase after the tanks that are on the flag cap, as Simple Tankers have a number of their tanks in Hotel 5 on the flag, or on the map here.
And this is...
Ex-Soldier takes a big hit.
This is a... I'm trying to read the situation. Is this going to be a fake? Is this going to be...
I think it's a fake, and now they're pulling away from it. It's to do this exactly. It's to pull a tank like Ex-Soldier into a false sense of security on the F crossroads, and then to get unloaded upon and almost destroyed. Okay. 2 more shots he go down. There's 1. Do I see 2? Show me potato salad. Doesn't happen. He's going to fall back.
Nope, it's a goat.
That's all right. Well, Soldier held the line, maintained his composure, and as he falls back here, Simple Tankers is going to go for a northern push.
Don't say that, Josh.
Well, look at it though. This is a great.
You said it like it was a secret.
Well,
it's something taboo.
It's a great fake.
It is an okay fake, I think.
It's reminiscent of Victoria's Secret Against Fun Gaming, which is still one of my favorite plays of all time.
Okay, I think it was, yes, a fake. It wasn't a brilliant fake. I think it was an okay fake, you know? Something that their opponent can say, wait a tick, that isn't really a convincing attack. This is a fake. Let's move our forces, especially after taking damage on X-Soldier like they did. It was. I kind of feel that I Love Lamp should have seen this coming, you know?
Pub Whisperer takes down Baby Halo. That's the first casualty of I Love Lamp in this battle, and Simple Tankers now dictating what's happening on the battlefield because of their positioning in the north, and I Love Lamp is scrambling to deal with it.
And look at the positioning of Wallhacks and Zakum. They're both faced to the west, not to the east where the tanks are moving towards them, where that KV-3, IS-3, and 5100 are. No, it's towards where Akula is going to be positioned, and they have Angry White Guy positioned to pin him up. But now, the IS-3s are going to have to turn around because guess what? Here come the KV-3 and the IS-3.
Star Shield, one shot away. He goes down. Tofu's perfect. Angry White Guy take down Akula and Star Shield. Ryan gets along with consequences. Now being overmatched by 3 tanks from Simple Tankers. Ryan gets next. And next tank to fall here in the IS-3.
Elsewhere, Angry White Guy is taking on Fight Breast Cancer. Fight Breast Cancer doing a good job of dealing damage. Angry White Guy is on reload, was able to take down Akula. In this situation, it looks like win on both fronts for Simple Tankers.
And there goes Ryan. Fight Breast Cancer, last tank alive, and the RU-251 on the run, and the remainder of tanks from Simple Tankers to the north could either go on the flag cap or chase down the RU-251. Looks like
he's
the
exposed.
IS-350. 100 fires towards Executus. Does not land the shot.
Surprising that Fight Breast Cancer decides to turn north instead of south in this situation.
Oh, he wants to take down Angry White Guy.
Well, he fizzles into the tracks right there. That was a heat round hitting tracks. Not really good penetration.
Here we go, 3, 2, and 1 gets the shot. Simple Tankers is up 4-2 against I Love Lamp, 1 battle away from taking the series and finishing the night. However, I was impressed by the fake. It sounded like you were more of, well, this should have been read better by I Love Lamp.
It was an initial move, which was send your light tanks down the middle road. It's not uncommon. I shouldn't say not uncommon. It's everyone does that.
Yes.
Everyone has played that strat in this league. Everyone plays that strat in the European League. It's all over the place. Easy to read. Actually, not too hard to get some damage in there early even. They don't get too much damage in there, but then they leave 1 tank behind, and there is sufficient cover that you can, or that coverage vision-wise, that they could have seen the fact that there are no Simple Tankers tanks anywhere. There's no fire coming in from any of those directions. There's nothing. It was something where when you see that there's no real opponent there, and you see that there's just 1 little light tank driving around, and then you get to see it run away,
yes,
that should tell you instantly, this is a fake. This is a move my opponent. What is my opponent doing? I don't think that I Love Lamp in that moment decided to think about what their opponent's next move is or what their intentions are, where their tanks would be or should be if they were in the head of their opponent.
Is the problem information gathering? Is the problem making the wrong assessment and action based on the information they had?
It was you had the information and you didn't decide to take the leap, that little leap to just try and understand more.
Sometimes you kind of have to fill in the blanks a little bit to like, well, the tanks aren't here. Where are they going?
Exactly.
They have to be going north. Let's get there first. It happens. Simple Tankers was able to get that victory as the attacker. Now they're on the defense, 1 battle away. Very significant for them as the defenders. However, I Love Lamp has shown some serious strategy and teeth in this series. Still anybody's game. What do we have for tanks?
All right. Now that we've switched sides, Simple Tankers is blue, defending. We've got 2 5100s, 2 IS-3s, RU-251. Now, Pub Whisperer, that T-54 lightweight. We have a highlight of that from the past. Let's see if he can do something much like that again. And a T-37. I Love Lamp, the 110 is back. 2 5100s, an IS-3, RU-251, and 2 M41 Walker Bulldogs.
All right, looking at the opening run, shot from X-Soldier going towards Executus. Executus gets hit for 333 damage, either from the IS-3 of Ryan or from Fight Breast Cancer. They continue to fire toward Executus here.
I think that maybe X-Soldier would make sense as that kind of a role, because I believe he would hit for 320 damage, meaning it's a more likely roll that he would get hit for that amount of damage. He didn't fire,
though. He was on the move.
Didn't? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
It had to be one of these tanks, either 251 or the IS-3, because they both fired about the same time.
Let me see where that penned. It was right into his engine. If it was HE, I can see that happening from Fight Breast Cancer. If it was an AP shell, I'd be surprised that it rolled so low from Ryan.
Well, ex-soldier around the corner looking for a shot on wall hacks or Tofu Smurf. Looking at the positioning of Simple Tankers in the Delta Village, there's no aggression, there's no scouting that's happening. There is scouting on the very southern tip of the map in Kilo 0, but they're not finding any tanks there, so this is the flip side scenario for Simple Tankers compared to last battle.
A little bit, but Kraft Lawrence, you can see the T-37 position. There's good coverage there. And you can see also that wall hacks is nearby as well. With wall hacks nearby, I think Simple Tankers is well prepared for this situation. Tofu Smurf is overwatching. He is looking towards the west, which to me says Simple Tankers knows what's up. They know what's happening.
And here is the trigger being pulled from I Love Lamp. They see that Kraft Lawrence is on his own, who's scouting up to the north, but Baby Halo's going to get almost annihilated here, and he goes down. Kraft Lawrence gets that kill. And
Akula misses the shot going around the corner, taking even more damage before they're finally able to take down that light tank.
Fight Breast Cancer gets hit right in the tracks. He gets stopped. Can he get destroyed? No, he's going to move right in time to the northern village, but the traded fire going back and forth is intense.
Ammo rack onto wall hacks, just destroying him instantly. That was a massive amount of hit points to lose for Simple Tankers. They still have the lead, though. They're still doing okay.
Fight Breast Cancer. Very low. Tofu Smurf now going to be up in the face of the Walker Bulldog, and he's going to get hit from behind, it looks like. Was that some friendly fire?
That was friendly fire. I saw the same thing.
Angry White Guy, you got to watch that fire. Tofu Smurf now very low.
Tofu Smurf needed to not back up in that situation. Angry White Guy, his battle buddy, had a clear shot. He simped it, as we say.
That's where simp comes from. Not the team, but the name means to block a shot and take it from a teammate. Fight Breast Cancer, ex-soldier, very low.
Now Pub Whisperer is moving in. His T-54 lightweight is nice and healthy, 1,200 hit points.
There goes Tofu Smurf.
And he will be able to, he's going to go wide. Pub going wide while we have Executus perhaps grabbing the attention of X-Consequences. While Consequences has to focus on one or the other targets, one of these guys is going to be able to slip by and get a shot onto Cap. And now Executus punishing Consequences, and I guess sacking himself in order for his ally, the T-54 Pub Whisperer, to go in and reset this.
Angry White Guy is able to take down one. Now needs to reset. Can he get the shot? Two misses from Simple Tankers from Zach Kuma and Angry White Guy. Now they get the reset. Pub Whisperer moving into the T-54 lightweight from behind to clean this up. And Angry White Guy turns his turret all the way around to take down Star Shield. Now Zach Kuma takes down Soldier. It's 3 against 2 in favor of Simple Tankers, but it's still a back and forth firefight as Ryan is staying on the flag cap in the IS-3. And here comes Consequences and probably fully reloaded 50-100, and he cannot get the shot against Pub Whisperer, but Ryan is so close to falling here. And now, more pressure on that flag cap as Pub Whisperer rounds the corner just in time to escape Consequences.
Just in time, and it was because Consequences did not drive as effectively as he should have.
Missed shot from Pub Whisperer as he pushes up. Trying to get another shot on Consequences here.
708 hit points.
Gets a nice hit. Zach Koom, another hit against Consequences. One more shot, and Simple Tankers will take this. Consequences, the last tank alive for I Love Lamp, and that's it. Simple Tankers does it 5-2 in the series.
Well played. And Pub Whisperer, by the way, again, the final kill, the final shot. I want to look at his post-game stats, if you can bring that up for me, Josh. I really appreciate that one. Because he gets the last kill. He does some crucial moves. Going around behind and getting those shots, looking at his damage, good 1,290. I think most of that was at the end of the match. Up until that point, he'd been more standoffish, doing whatever it is T-54 lightweights do when they don't have a target to kill.
They love to cruise around, drift a little bit, maybe show off for the ladies, maybe go to a drive-through, but in the end, it's getting to the other side of that map and getting behind those tanks that are on that flag cap.
And I have to give it to his battle buddy. That was Executus, I believe.
Yep.
In the RU-251, who was a distraction. He held off at 5100 just long enough for them to get that T-54 lightweight at full health, who needed to be at full health to go in, because you can't have someone jump onto Cap who's damaged, who's taken a few hits, because they won't last at all. They won't last a minute, not even 30 seconds. But the T-54 lightweight, because he's healthy enough, can shrug off a few shells, can take a hit here or there, and is going to be able to get out. He's going to be able to, continue dealing damage, being a huge nuisance, a distraction. It's what's necessary, and that I think Simple Tankers did a good job of handling that situation on a number of levels.
Well, and also we're seeing teams such as I Love Lamp and even Timed Out performing better into week 2 of season play in the Gold League. And even though they were losses tonight, those teams can still hold their heads up high and say, we are starting to go toe-to-toe. We are making these veteran teams sweat and work for these victories. And that's what's important. Very important. Hopefully they can continue to improve throughout the rest of the season as well.
I agree. That's a really good point. Watching these teams grow and get better is what we hope for. We don't want to see anyone kind of go backwards and lose that momentum, because I love to watch this game. I love to watch the competition. I love to commentate it. I don't want to watch someone get worse at it. I want to watch everyone improve and innovate and surprise me, show me something crazy, show all of us something absolutely stunning. That's what I'm looking for. And there are a few things here and there that have impressed me every single night, and that is why I love this.
That Tofu Smurf move across the open field on Muro Vonkan, then using that house as cover, I think it was one of my highlights I'm going to remember for a long time. I really love that matchup. Let's go ahead and recap the day of who won what in our series tonight. For the broadcasted matches, it was Cunningham's taking out Simply Irresistible 5-3. Full Potato with their first victory in the Gold League against Penguin Mafia 5-2. Hammer Time took out Timed Out 5-3 in an excellent series for both teams. And then I Love Lamp versus Simple Tankers. Action-packed series, even though it was a little top-heavy for Simple Tankers. It made Simple Tankers work for it.
Yeah, they definitely did. I loved especially the I Love Lamp Simple Tankers. Yeah. And then I was surprised, of course, by our first match.
Yeah, definitely the Cunningham's Simply Irresistible. Let's go ahead and take a look at the matches that are not broadcasted tonight. We were able to give you some updates throughout the night tonight. RBS takes down Noble 5-2. Elevate takes out Roulette 5-3. Simp takes down Victoria's Secret 5-1. And in the end, a Fun Gaming versus Top Tier. Still not finished yet, but Top Tier is in the lead 4-1 so far.
Not bad.
Couple upsets. Elevate.
Couple upsets?
Elevate looking good against Roulette.
All of those are surprising results. I wouldn't have guessed those numbers, ever.
Same. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings overall of where we stand when it comes to the end of week 2. Simp in the lead. 4 wins, 12 points. Cunningham's right behind him, followed by Hammer Time. Then RBIS, those are your top 4 teams. Simple Tankers in 5th place. Then Simply Irresistible, Noble, and then Roulette.
I should point out Arbis and Simple Tankers are tied right now. And on the bottom half of the league, we've got Fun Gaming with 5 points. Full Potato with 4 in 10th place. Tied with I Love Lamp,
and
top tier. And
Burnout
Empires.
Elevate. Yeah, Burnout Empires Elevate.
Yeah. And then Penguin Mafia at 3 points, Timed Out, and Victoria's Secret have yet to get themselves any points with 4 losses. Good luck to them after the holiday.
Yes. Speaking of holidays, we will be celebrating the holidays, so that means that we are going to take a break. But we're going to be back on January 6th with our matches on that evening. That's going to be a Tuesday. That's going to be Roulette versus... Oh, man, this is going to be Roulette versus Hammer Time.
Yes.
Merry Christmas to everybody.
And
that's going to be a
New
great
Year.
series. RBIS versus Simple Tanker, Simp versus Penguin Mafia, and then Fun Gaming versus Simply Irresistible. That first matchup is going to be a doozy.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
That'll be nice to come back to. A really good way to just kick it all off.
Yeah. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at WGLNA, Facebook.com/WGLNA. And we appreciate all the tweets that you sent us tonight. That's how you're going to stay in touch with us over the holiday break. You can also follow us at Clutch08, also
at Rookhill.
At Rookhill.
2 U's.
2 U's. Final thoughts, Randall?
Well, I think that this is a good way. I Love Lamp Simple Tankers to get us off into the season. I think that these first 2 weeks of play have been phenomenal. It's been eye-opening. It's been fun to watch all of this grow and change. Josh, your thoughts as well.
Special thank you to Greetorp, who is sitting in for me on Tuesday. Always a pleasure to see him, so I appreciate a lot of the fans' reaction for the little surprise we had. And also a goodbye to Refuse to Die, who broke up as a team this week. Thanks for the memories, and thanks for your hard work throughout the multiple seasons you joined us. A special thank you to a bag of kittens who led them as well. And I look forward to more and more teams continuing to make history, continuing to make memories, and continuing to make franchises, you could say, as we continue along in this great journey that is esports in World of Tanks. On behalf of everybody here at the WGLNA, thanks for watching. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. We'll see you next time, January 6th. Until then, good night